Hello, my name is Grace Wanyura, and this is Horse Pro, the channel dedicated to empowering the amateur horse enthusiast and supporting the budding professional. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already to join our community, and hit the like button if you find this content to be of value to you today. I would like to announce Tuesdays are going to become Horse Pro Training Tip Tuesdays. I will be canvassing other professionals, not just myself, and other professionals in the equine industry, such as farriers, vets, other trainers, trainers from other disciplines, for their top tips to help you run your stable more smoothly, keep your horses safe, make your show day run a little bit more pleasantly. And we'll have lots of juicy little tips to help you make those days and make your weeks a little bit more pleasurable around the horse industry. So stay tuned every Tuesday for that. Today's topic is changing feed patterns, or changing your horse's feed in cold weather climates during the winter. Now, I was at the mall the other day and I ran into two very good friends who operate a thoroughbred breeding farm. Last week in Ontario, Canada, where I live, temperatures hit minus 46 degrees Celsius with the wind chill. They were having foals born. Wow. Now this led to a discussion on how does winter affect the horse and what can we do to help our horses stay safe and stay in top condition, especially for those of you who are not going to Florida. So number one is moisture. We need to make sure that they drink enough. Horses who live out absolutely need access to fresh water 24/7. Horses who are out for the bulk of the day should have water accessible to them. And definitely we need to think about adding salt to the diet in order to encourage the horse to drink. Now, some people have salt blocks in the horse's stall, and that's great because the horses have that salt available to them. If your horse doesn't, it's a very good practice during the winter to add salt to their grain in the morning or in the evening so that the horse is triggered or encouraged to drink more. Why? Well, very much like us on a ski slope. We're having fun. We're skiing. We're going down the slopes. At the end of the day, our lips are a bit drier. Our skin's a bit drier. We may not have noticed initially that airflow, that cold was sucking the moisture out of us. And horses are a little bit the same. So we need to make sure that we're triggering them to drink so that it's not too late by the time they want to drink. And this is important because they need a large volume of water to keep their bodies smoothly digesting all the hay and grains they're eating. Now, the other way you can help a horse to get moisture is by changing your feed dynamic a little in winter, by perhaps adding soaked or very well soaked beet pulp if you don't already. Some people do feed it daily, but for those who don't, that could be a good addition in the winter. You need to read the packaging to make sure you're adding enough water to it and giving it enough time to soak before you feed it. Number two, some people simply add water to the grain that they feed so that the horse is getting moisture when they're eating. Some people choose to soak flaxseed or linseed. They need to make sure the hulls, it's crushed so that the hulls are open and that the horse can digest it. And of course, some people also add soaked hay cubes to the horse's diet. So the hay cubes come in very hard little chunks. You add water to them, they expand, and by adding all that water, the horse naturally then is ingesting the hay cubes and the moisture all in one go. So these ways to add water to the diet will help the horse to get enough moisture. Now, number two, when your horse changes its environment, i.e., if it goes out regularly and then suddenly you hit a cold snap and now it is not going on turnout or it is not getting ridden, it's very important that you consider reducing the amount of grain you feed in the day. When you reduce the concentrates, the horse's guts work less hard, and so it makes passing manure and things like that a little easier. It also makes them a little less inclined to be as excitable. But remember, we never reduce their hay. In fact, you may want, unless they're not eating it, you may want to increase their hay in order to offset the amount of calories that you're taking away when you reduce their grain. Now, the thoroughbred folks and I, we both said it at the same time when we were sitting there talking. Oh yes, we reduced it by half. So amazingly, when our horses had to stay in for any long duration of time, 2, 3, 4 days, we immediately cut the grain in half, increase the hay so that the horse's guts could move more freely, and that we were really trying to make sure that when we reduced the amount of walking that the horse did on a daily basis, that we thought about changing their diet a little bit for the reduction in the calorie loss. I hope these tips today have helped you to understand a little bit about the dynamics of cold weather feed changes, and I look forward to you tuning in tomorrow.